I'm a spirit channeler and oracle card reader who channels both light and shadow energies in my readings, which means if you're easily triggered, please find yourself another reader. Hey everyone, welcome back. So today's reading will be on the topic of what is their karma for hurting you. This is a reading for all types of relationships, whether it be old coworkers, bosses, friends turned enemies, or romantic partners. Anyone who did you wrong in the past and you're kind of wondering what was their karma, what became of them, what happened to them as a result of their actions, then this is the reading for you. Also, another thing to keep in mind that I still do not have my desk. If you feel so inclined to want to donate, the link is in the description box and I shall get a new desk quicker if you guys feel so inclined to donate. But as of right now, it's still not a priority of mine. So the video layout is not as it used to be. You may not be able to see all of the cards. Some of the cards may be cut off from the screen, but that is what it is for right now. So you have 4 piles to choose from left to right, pile 1, 2, 3, and 4. Pause the video if you need some more time to choose your pile, and I will see you in your reading. Hello, pile number 1, welcome to your reading. So what happened to your person? What karma did they receive for hurting you? So it appears as though you cut this person off. The last time you guys spoke, you sent some harsh words their way, whether it was through text or verbally. You definitely sent some harsh words their way and let them know what you truly thought about them, and you let them know who they really are. You basically held up a mirror to them so that they can see their true selves. And I feel like you were the best person to do this because no one else in their past was able to truly hold up a mirror the way you were able to hold up a mirror for them to truly see themselves. Other people have tried, but your energy is one that is very reflective, and or just the karmic relationship that you were in, because this was definitely a karmic relationship regardless of what type of relationship it was. Just the fact that you guys had some sort of karmic contract and you may have known each other in a past life, your souls were connected enough that you were able to hold up a mirror to them, a metaphorical mirror to them based on your energetic signature. Now, like I did say in the intro, this reading is for every type of person and any type of relationship. So even if this person was your ex-boss, this is still a karmic partner who you probably knew in a past life. But at the very least, you guys made some sort of soul contract about this situation occurring. So this person was rather rotten with this all that glitters card. This person came off a little bit nicer, wealthier, more successful, just with a better personality and more put together overall than they truly were underneath the surface. Underneath the surface, when you got to know them, you found out that they were rotten. For some of you guys, this person may have been a narcissist. I'm really seeing with that all that glitters card. And they couldn't see past their bullshit, regardless of whether or not they were a full-blown narcissist or not. They couldn't see past their own bullshit with that truth be told card in reverse right next to that one. So I feel like the karma that they got was actually them finally understanding who they truly are, who they are being, what they are doing. Because before, like I said, they were blinded to it. So this pile, it's not so much that, oh, you know, they received something negative or anything like that. Actually, you opened their eyes. So this person is slowly starting to work on themselves. I'm seeing with that chopped wood card next to the co-create card. If this person was religious, like 1 foot in, 1 foot out type of religious, or even if they were full-blown religious, but they were just toxic, that toxic type of religious, whatever it is, whether it's their background that they moved away from or a religion that they were practicing while they were with you, but they were just being hypocrites, I see them taking the canon more seriously now. So if they grew up Muslim or Christian, for example, and they, strayed from it, I see that recently they've gone back to it a bit more. They've been reading the canon a bit more, listening to more sermons, um, maybe going physically to more services and stuff like that. But I'm seeing for a good chunk of them, they've actually gone back to their old religion. Not fully. I'm not seeing them, mind you, this is a general reading. For some of you guys, this person fully devoted themselves into it, but really what I'm seeing is that they're trying to go back in and take aspects of it that will help them, because they felt lost. When you left, you're really coming off as the Queen of Swords. So you sent them some harsh words, telling them the truth about who they really are, and then you just ghosted them. You left, you blocked them, or you moved out. They had no way of contacting you after you left them with those words. So they were kind of lost. They didn't have anyone else. This person doesn't have very many other people who can help them. You were the only person who was able to kind of help them through their personality issues. But you had enough and you left them, and no one else around them is able to truly help them. So, it's kind of like they had no other choice. Who are you going to turn to when you have no other human around you to help you? You're going to go to spirit. So, and what they went to religion. I'm seeing it seems more organized now. General reading for some of you, this may just be general spirituality, but I am seeing something more organized for most of you guys, something more structured for most of you guys. So they have this karmic pattern I'm seeing here with this round and round card. I feel like they've been incarnating with a similar pattern. So in their past lives, whatever, there's a core personality trait that this person has. Again, it's coming off heavily as narcissism, but it's something related to that, because again, this is a general reading. Something kind of narcissistic about their personality, or they're a serial liar or something like that. But they've been incarnating with the same issues over and over again, and you basically kind of helped to break the cycle. You were the catalyst to actually wedge yourself in there and kind of trip them up. You know what I mean? Like, I'm seeing a vision of someone wedging their foot in there and tripping someone who is jogging a marathon. And the tripping was enough for them to wake up and say, why am I running this marathon that never ends? For what cause? What's the purpose? You know what I mean? So you made them actually think, and you kind of put a wedge in this karmic cycle. So basically, the funny thing about this group is that their karma is that their karma was actually kind of lessened, kind of alleviated a bit because of this cycle. Like, imagine someone in a spinning cycle in the dryer. Say the dryer has different speeds. They were going at full speed. Now, like, say level 3, which is the fastest. Now they're going at level 2, which is just like the medium speed. They're still stuck in their own karma, their own negative patterns, but they kind of were able to slow it down a bit more and actually analyze the parts of it that are causing them problems. Because when something's passing by you so damn quickly, you can't see it. Like, if cars are driving by you, like, I don't know, 200 kilometers an hour, you can't exactly see it. But if they slow down just to like at least maybe 130, you can see it. You still can't hop on the car or something like that. You still can't really get its license plate number if you try to get its license plate number, but at least you can see, what the model of the car was, better if it slows down a little bit, as from like 200 to 130, for example. So they're able to see things a bit more and analyze things a bit more, but they are still in this cycle. So yeah, with this building blocks card here in reverse, I'm seeing them trying to release a lot of the toxicity in them, in their personality traits, in their life. They have something really toxic and rotten in their life, in their core, in their soul, and they're trying to remove it so that they can have better peace And for a lot of you guys here, I'm seeing with the piece in reverse next to the message in the bottle, this person wants to contact you, but they are smart enough to not attempt to contact you before they have actually done serious work on themselves. Their goal is to be able to eventually contact you in the future and for you guys to just have a civilized, calmer conversation. Because I really feel like the last conversation you guys had was chaotic, like both of you yelling at each other. So they see you as someone where it's like, oh, this person was wiser beyond the years than I actually thought that they were. Because when you two were together, again, regardless of whatever type of relationship this was, when you two were, whether it was working together or in a romantic relationship together, or you were friends in a friendship relationship together, they saw you almost as their inferior. Because again, I'm seeing a bit of narcissism here. But when you finally, told them it as it is, some of you guys gave them some critical information at the end. When you finally enlightened them, they saw you as, oh crap, this person was a very, almost like a wise sage in disguise. They were disguised as someone who was inferior to me in some manner. So you guys were inferior to this person in some manner, whether it be monetarily, because maybe this person was your boss and you were their employee, or maybe this person is a misogynist and he was a male and you were a female. Maybe you were just you guys were friends, but this person had a stable job and a stable home to live in, whereas you were bouncing around from apartment to apartment or from job to job or something like that. So there was something about your relationship dynamic that gave them the upper edge, which they really appreciated, because again, I'm really seeing narcissism here. So it wasn't until you left and gave them, after they were able to really analyze all the things that you said to them while you were yelling at them, that they realized, oh crap, this person was a little sage in disguise as someone who was financially unstable, for example, or who was uneducated in a traditional sense, for example, whatever it was that made you inferior in comparison to them in their eyes. So they do have hopes of contacting you again in the future. I have this come to the edge card. I have regeneration. They want to heal themselves. This person actually wants to heal themselves. They actually do. They also want to regenerate a type of friendship, or a cordial friendship with you. And when I said that, these two cards fell out of my hand. We have the loyal heart card and we have breathe in reverse. So for some of you guys, this person sees you as a soulmate, actually. Remember when I said at the beginning of the reading that this person is a karmic partner? They see you as a potential soulmate who could either be their best friend for life, again, depending on what this relationship was for you. If this was your best friend or a close friend, and then you guys got into an argument, they see you as, oh man, this person was my true best friend, not these people who don't really care about me, who pretend they care about me. Or if you were, a boyfriend, girlfriend, oh man, this person could have been my husband or my wife. It's something like that. They see you as being more of a counterpart, a higher level counterpart than you see them as being. Because I don't see you as seeing them as marriage material if this was a romantic partnership. But they're seeing you as marriage material, or just someone who they can have a companionship with long term. Like I said, at the very least, they just want to be cordial. They want to be friends with you. They want to have a cordial relationship with you in the near future that will last forever. That's what they want. Yeah, I just, this time for a nap card in reverse, I'm seeing them as seeing this relationship as just temporarily sleeping, and they want it to resurrect at some point, again with that regeneration card. So, but they're fearful. They're fearful that you're not going to take them back. They're fearful they're not yet good enough for you. They're fearful that they haven't yet done enough of the work required to be your equal and to be with you. Again, we have this Y card in reverse. Again, they're really searching for answers. This person's really on a spiritual / religious journey right now, searching for answers as to why they are the way that they are, and so that they can have a peaceful and harmonious and happy and successful life, because their life seems rather chaotic. Even if they put up a front in some manner that their life was put together, like I said, say they had a stable job in a stable home, they probably didn't have stable friendships or family relationships, or again, their personality and their emotions were not stable. There's something unstable about them, and they want a real happy life, because their life is not happy. Their life is not happy. They want blessings. They want blessings. So this person is, look, the fates card. They feel like, okay, am I cursed, or like, is this my fate, or what's happening? They're trying to change their fate with that fork in the road card being next to the fate card. So again, just to wrap up this reading so it doesn't drag on for too long, ironically, this person's karma for hurting you is that they were finally able to see how shitty of a person they are. Just to put it bluntly, they're finally able to see it, and the loop of their karma was able to finally slow down just enough so that they can analyze aspects of their situation and their inner being. Because like I said before, it was moving too fast. They couldn't see their reflection right in front of them. If they're standing in front of a mirror, they couldn't freaking see their own reflection. Now it has slowed down just enough for them to be able to analyze their own reflection. Like I said, they're still stuck in this pattern, but they are actually trying to heal. So you were the spark that propelled them to a spiritual journey, a type of spiritual awakening. They're going through a spiritual awakening. So yeah, that is their there you go. So that's their karma. So those are your messages. I hope that helped you, and I hope it resonated. Let me know if it did, and I will see you in my next reading. Hello, pal number 2. Welcome to your reading. So what is your person's karma for hurting you? So with this clean it up card and the there and now in reverse and the regeneration card next to that, I feel like this person was left to clean up some sort of mess that was left after your relationship ended. Again, whatever type of relationship this was, doesn't matter. Whenever this relationship ended, you left them in a predicament that required them to clean up some mess. So this reading is coming off more like job related. Mind you, like I said, whatever you're thinking about, whoever you're thinking about, this is the relationship. However, for the majority of you guys, I'm picking up something about career and business related here. So if you quit on this person, you left them short an employee. And as a result, they had to work. They had to actually do the work. With this clean it up card, I'm really seeing someone who had to roll up their sleeves and get to work because they were short an employee and they weren't able to replace you as quickly as they had assumed they were able to replace you, because this person's coming off a little bit haughty. Not haughty like good looking, haughty like a peacock type of, And I'm not saying that they're not coming off as super narcissistic like the last group. The last group was a narcissist, but this one, they're coming off like a boss. So that kind of haughtiness that a boss has, not super, high and mighty, but enough where that one would expect a boss to have in regards to employees, especially minimum wage employees. But it doesn't matter if this was a minimum wage. What I'm picking up is like someone who's like, hey, I'm an employer. Let's be real. I'm an employer. You want to quit? Fine. There are 100 other people who are lining up to take your job, and I can have them come in like this at the snap of a finger. They'll come in a few days, or next week they'll start, and it will be almost as if you never left. You'll be easily replaceable. This is really what I'm picking up. Now, again, if this wasn't a job, try to relate that to the type of relationship you're inquiring about. When you left, when the person needed you to do something, you were helping this person with something, and you leaving required you to be replaced, whatever type of relationship this was. And they thought that they were able to replace you with the snap of a finger. because they had things going for them. Like if this was a romantic partnership, they were good looking and they probably had money. So they said, I can replace you easily. And again, employer, I'm an employer. People need jobs. I can replace you. The issue is that they weren't able to replace you as quickly as they thought they were going to be able to. So they had to do the work themselves. Okay, so with this regeneration card here wedged here, I'm seeing a repetition, and we do have this round and round card over here. I am seeing a repetition. So I'm seeing people being hired and then quitting or having to be fired for some reason because it was just too bad. So I'm seeing people being hired and then lasting maybe 2 weeks or something, or maybe not even that long, and then having to be let go or they leave, and then having to be replaced again. You know what this is coming off as? Professor of the Dark Arts from Harry Potter. Those of you who are Harry Potter fans, you remember how Tom Riddle cursed the position because he was not accepted to be the Dark Arts professor? That's why every year there's a new Dark Arts professor. This is what it's coming off as to me. You leaving essentially cursed either it cursed their entire business, or it just cursed that one specific position that you held. So that one specific position that you held was never able to be filled permanently and properly long term. Never again. Okay. And for some of you guys, this was their entire business, that depending on the size of their business, right? If they had a massive business and you were a smaller employee, their entire business didn't fall apart. But if they had a small business where they really counted on the few employees that they had showing up to work, being short just one person, if that was enough to make this manager or this boss have to go in and do the work themselves, and if it was enough to, cause some issues, then you may have successfully ruined their business. So again, I'm really picking up just pure business so far, work related. But again, general reading, whatever it is for you, you make it resonate. We have loyal heart here and unfinished symphony here. It never ends. It never ends. When it's unfinished symphony next to the loyal heart, you were a part of a puzzle here. They needed you for something. Okay, they really needed you for something. And when you left, something wasn't finished. Either you were so pissed off that you quit in the middle of a job. Like if you were a contractor, you quit in the middle of a contract, and someone else coming in fresh would not be able to really decipher what it was you were doing, and they would have to start from scratch, or they would have to frantically maybe try to call you and try to get you to explain, like, what did you already do? You know what I mean? For some of you guys, I'm picking up something like that. Like you were contracted for something and you were doing the work and only you knew what you were doing. And when you dropped the contract, they had this work, but they didn't know what to do with it. They didn't know what to do. So all that glitters here, and Treasure Island in reverse. Again, I am seeing some of their businesses failing here, or just them losing revenue. There's a drop in revenue here, there is a drop in productivity, and thus a drop in revenue. So for some of you guys, if this employer had a specific contract with a client and you were working for them, they may have lost the contract with that client. With this Observer card and the Peace card here being reversed, they're not fully in peace. There's something about their roads being blocked. Whenever they're trying, whatever they've been trying to do to fix this and get it back, it's not working. It's blocked. Again, like I said, if this is because you left a specific position, like Defense Against the Dark Arts professor position, every year they have to hire a new professor. even though they still have the school, Hogwarts is still there, they still have the entire school. Every year they have to find a new professor. They have to interview for someone else every damn year. If we're keeping with the same example, others of you guys, if they lost this entire business here because of this, whatever they're trying to do to make it up, like I said, if they lost a client here, if they're whatever, every other time they're trying to get a new client to replace this old client that they lost because you left, they are not able to get a client to replace that person. So just to wrap up this whole reading, to put it plainly, you were irreplaceable, and it may not be because you were super great at your job. I am seeing that you were good at your job. It's not that in theory you couldn't be replaced. It's just because you left behind this type of curse on them. This is the karma that they had, where it's not anything that they can pinpoint in the 3D realm that's causing this position to not be able to be refilled. It's just the fact that it's spiritual. You left behind this karma, and now it's a void, it's a hole, it's like a vacuum. Every time they try to fill it, it gets sucked into a vacuum, and they're stuck again. They're at the same spot. So I'm sorry if you were asking about another type of relationship other than a work relationship, but this is all I'm seeing. But hopefully what I said in this reading, you're able to apply to the relationship you're inquiring about. This really seems very business transactional. So even if this is a romantic partnership, this wasn't a love-based partnership. There was something very transactional about this romantic relationship. If this was indeed a romantic relationship, if this was a friendship, then this person needed you because you were like maybe another part of their clique, like kind of like Mean Girls, the head girl, and then her two sidekicks, or her three sidekicks when Caddy came in, or Katie. I think her name was Katie. My bad. She hated when people called her Caddy, and here I am calling her Caddy. Anyways, even if it was like a friendship like that, there's a hole there. So if she's supposed to have three backup sidekicks, she only has two. And no one was ever able to fill that. If this was a romantic partnership, there was something transactional about this, that it was not love-based. It might have been an arranged marriage, or it was just very like, okay, I'm successful, so I need, a woman to take to all of these dinners, these client dinners or some shit like that. I don't know. It wasn't very genuine. Okay, let's see what I'm seeing from these cards that I put down that I wasn't paying attention to. Okay, yeah, they don't know why. This person is very logic based. They're a business person. I'm telling you, I don't care. This person is very calculated, okay? They have a business, a personality. Whether they own the business or they manage a business, or even if this is a romantic relationship, this person's very calculated, okay? They don't understand. They're trying to do the calculations. They don't understand what is happening, what has been happening, why this has been happening ever since you left. They can't calculate it in the 3D because, like I said, there's no mundane 3D reason why you could not be replaced. On paper, you should have been replaceable. So they're stuck in their mind trying to calculate what the hell happened. So they're really confused. They're doing everything by the book. They're following the rules. I'm seeing them digging things up, like going through their plan, their business plan or whatnot, or whatever plan that they had, pulling it apart, going through it again, trying to put it back together. And it's still failing. Like I said, even if they lost the entire business or they lost a client, and they're here trying to get a new client to replace a client that they lost because you left and they weren't able to replace you fast enough to keep this client, they're still not able to get a new client to replace the old one. So even if they pull apart their business model and they say, okay, they might think, okay, maybe if I reduce my prices that I'm charging, then I can get a new client. Or if I change locations, or if I do more advertising, or if I stop advertising here and I instead put all my advertising money over there. Or they're going through their business model and they're pulling it apart, and they're trying to rework it and change it. Okay, I'm seeing a lot of refitting the puzzle, doing things that's supposed to be working in the 3D realm, and it's not working, and they're perplexed. This person is seriously perplexed, and at some point they're going to realize, at some point, oh look, underneath the deck, actually I have the deep knowing card. So they do actually kind of know it right now, by this point that you're watching this reading, that there is some sort of curse. This person is not coming off as someone who really, really believes in curses and hexes and stuff like that. But at this point, after exhausting all the 3D, mundane, logical options and options for answering why this is happening, intuitively, they're starting to think, you know what? I think this person may have left some sort of bad juju or some bad luck, or maybe I'm being punished for something. They're deep down, actually, they're starting to realize that this is a punishment for the way that they treated you. They're still not 100% fully believing this. Like I said, this person's coming off very earth sign like, very grounded, very logical, but they are starting to think, this could be a possibility that something like this actually happened, because like I said, they've exhausted all other possibilities, and there's no other option as to why this could be happening other than just some damn curse, and they're starting to really see it as a plausible option. So those are your messages. I hope that helped you, and I hope it resonated. Let me know if it did, and I will see you in my next reading. Hello, pal number 3. Welcome to your reading. So what is your person's karma for hurting you? So I'm just going to talk through this because I channel through words, whether it be written or spoken. So hopefully things will clear up as I keep speaking, because currently right now all I'm seeing is what appears to be the victim in this situation, what is happening to them. Now, this might mean that some of you guys watching this were actually the perpetrator and caused the other person a lot of trauma, and you were seeing what happened to them after they left your toxic ass. Or it could, I don't know, we'll see what's happening. But this is a relationship. Of course, every human interaction is a relationship, but this is coming off heavily romantic relationship. This might be family as well, and friendship. You know what this is. Someone here was really toxic. Someone here was manipulative and emotionally unstable. Someone was manipulating the other person. Someone was controlling the other person. Someone was taking heavy advantage of the other person. This is coming off like a marriage. Somehow you guys were contracted together, whether it be a marriage, or this person was your mother or something, or someone who by blood where you felt like you couldn't leave them. There's something about not feeling like you couldn't leave this person, or that this person couldn't leave you, which is which. I'm seeing a destructive soul. This is a karmic partner with the soulmate card being in reverse. Someone in this relationship had an issue with codependency. So as a result, they attracted an abuser, and a manipulator, and someone who was controlling. Someone here subconsciously needed someone to control them, and that's what they got. This could have stemmed from childhood. If this is a romantic partner, then this person, whoever this victim is in this situation, had a childhood where they had controlling parents, or parents who were abusive, and then they grew up feeling like they needed, subconsciously, mind you, that they needed to always be abused to be loved, because that's the only way they were shown quote unquote love, because the people who are supposed to show you the most love are your parents. And if they constantly abused you, then you're going to connect that to love, your child mind. For others of you, if this happened in your childhood and you're inquiring about a father or a mother or a guardian of some kind, this stems from your past life. And you brought this over into this life from your past life, where in your past life you felt or you were controlled, or you may have been controlling people. This might actually be why this reading is a little off, because if you had this happen in your childhood, you either could have been abusive in your past life, or you were heavily abused in your past life and you just brought that over here in this lifetime. So for all of you guys, there is some sort of past life connection, even if you are resonating with this being a romantic relationship that happened in your adulthood. There's some past life connection here. Let me see if I can clarify this. What's going on? Higher power, past life connection. Breathe in reverse. Underneath the deck, I have There and Now card. Sorry, you can't exactly see it. There and Now card in reverse. Past life related, okay? Definitely 100%. The Breathe card. You needed to shake something up. You needed to leave a pattern. A pattern that your soul was stuck in. An abusive pattern, whether you were the abuser or the abused in your past life and in this life. I'm not going to, you know what it is, but someone here was the abuser. Just because you were abused in this life doesn't mean that you didn't abuse someone in your past life. I do feel like you had experience in both realms. It could either be that, or it could just be because this reading is so split, because it's a general reading, that some of you guys in your past life were the abuser and some of you guys were the abused in your past life. So it could be any of those things, because it's a general reading. So I'm picking up on both here, both energies here. Okay. So the person who was abused in this lifetime moved. I love this. I love when the cards just keep reiterating everything. Regeneration. Again, cleaning up some karma. Funny, that's coming out next to this Clean It Up card. And next to the Fates card. That's why the Higher Power card came out and not the Fates. When I pulled the Higher Power card, I was thinking, how come the Fates didn't come out when it was karma? Because the Fates card is already here. That's why. So, again, heavy karma. And I just pulled the Higher Power card once again. I just pulled it out of the deck. So there was an abusive pattern here that needed to be broken. So whatever this relationship was, this person was in your life, or you were in this person's life, to let the other person know that they are an abuser, or to let you know that you are an abuser, and to let the other person know that they are someone who allows themselves to be abused, or to let you know that you are someone who allows themselves to be abused. Okay? Something about abuse and control and manipulation here. Gaslighting, all of that. Each of you in this relationship, in this partnership, needed to have it revealed to them their true nature of who they really were, what they were doing, how they were acting. Because even the quote-unquote victim in the situation who was abused was still allowing the other person to abuse them. Okay, Peace in reverse. Trauma, dissonance, issues again from childhood and your past life. Both of you are damaged. Both you and the person you're inquiring about are both damaged, who needed healing from some trauma, assault issues here. So the person who was abused in this dynamic discovered that, you know what, it's not my calling in life to continue to be abused. This is, I don't know why I'm here, but what I do know is that I'm not here to be someone's doormat or to be assaulted in every relationship that I'm in. the person who was abused figure that out. The to be fair card again here. Something about karma, balancing out karma here. With the yin card, someone needed to learn a lesson. The yin card here is also about teachability. Teachability. Can you be taught? Next to the be fair card, again, and also being next to the fates card, if we move this over here, karma. Pure karma here. Pure on both of your ends. Both of your ends. Okay, pure karma. Chaos and conflict. You had two people from two ends of the spectrum. Again, abuser, the person who allows themselves to be abused, who came together in a partnership to clear both of their karmas out. Imagine here in reverse, milk and honey. The person who was abused decided, okay, they finally were able to realize that I deserve better and I deserve to be in a harmonious relationship that is not abusive. And they're starting to dream again with this imagined card in reverse. They're starting to dream again that one day they could actually be in a harmonious relationship. But until then, I see this person as not allowing new romantic partners or friends, if this was a friendship, whatever this relationship was for you. They're not allowing new people into their life in this position, whatever that relationship position is, friend, a mother figure, father figure, whatnot. They are, yeah, look, and I just pulled the deep knowing card in the no place like home. Coming home to themselves, that they belong in a harmonious home where there's no violence and turmoil and toxicity. So the person who was abused realized this. They want a new life here. They have balanced out some sort of karma. Now they're mainly in hermit mode where they're kind of keeping to themselves because they're not ready to be in a relationship again. Whether that's a friendship or whatever this is, they're not exactly ready because they know that they kind of feel like if I get into one again, it might be the same. So I'm going to either be single forever and try to be happy by myself, or I'm just going to wait until everything balances itself out in the cosmos and I am brought a proper partner who will treat me right. Because this person is still confused. The person who was abused, they're still confused as to why this happened. This is, again, past life related. They still don't have all the answers, but all they know right now is that they're either going to be alone or they're going to have a better partner in the future. And there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. They put their foot down and they're through. They've had enough. This last relationship that you're inquiring about was the last straw for them because they've experienced this in their past for sure. This was the last straw. They're not going to accept this kind of behavior anymore again in the future. Now, as for the abuser, what's happening with the abuser? They're also balancing out some karma. What's happening with the abuser? Co-create in reverse. This is happening with the abuser. All that glitters. They're trying to find out who they are. This person is also confused. They don't know which part of them is a mask and which part of them is their true self. Yeah, this person's having an identity crisis. Let me see if I can cast a new spread for, because that spread was giving me just mainly, this wanted to come out, mainly for the abused. Higher power and fates again. They don't want to accept help. I did have that co-create card in reverse, and now I have the leg up in reverse, and I just split the deck. I just opened the deck like this in my hand, and look what's there. The co-create again in reverse. They And with the higher power card, they have spirit guides trying to contact them, the abuser. Again, with that Fates card there, they have some kind of spirit guides trying to contact them, trying to set them on the right path, but they're still a bit stubborn here. There's a lot of dissonance with this person. They're still a bit stubborn. They're really stuck in no man's land almost. Like, they're not as bad as they were when they were with you, or you're not as bad as you were when you were with them if you're the abuser. But they are not reformed. They are still stubborn. I see them as being alone. They're not in a new relationship. They might, of course, be sleeping with people, but they're not in a new relationship. They're inflexible with that flexibility card. They're stubborn, like I said. I don't see much happening with the abuser other than they are kind of, they're having an identity crisis. This was the first relationship that really made them think, hey, maybe I need to change. Because previously they didn't really think that. So at least, with this relationship, they did feel like, hey, I think I need to change. But they're so stubborn that they're not doing much about it. The difference between the abuser in this relationship, in this pile, and the narcissist in pile 1, just in case you came from pile 1 as well, is that the narcissist in pile 1 truly is willing to work with the higher powers to fix their issues. This person, just like the person in pile 1, realizes that they have an issue that needs to be fixed, but they're not as open and willing to get help as the person in pile 1. Yang, to be fair. They still have a lot of karma to balance out. The person who was abused pretty much balanced out their karma. They just need to integrate the lesson. They're in the process of integrating it. They're still in trauma, in a state of trauma right now, but they learned the lesson. They just need to integrate it. This person learned just a partial lesson, just a partial part of the larger lesson, but they haven't even integrated that partial part yet. And then to top it off, they still have a lot more to learn. So this person is still balancing out karma. Treasure Island in reverse, round and round. This person is going to repeat the same cycle because they still have a lot more to learn. So what is their karma for hurting you? Just to finish off this reading, if you're inquiring about an abuser, their karma for hurting you is that they're just still stuck in the same cycle. The good news is that this relationship gave them a little spark of enlightenment, a small spark of recognition that there's something actually wrong with them that needs to change. However, they're still too stubborn to change. And if you're inquiring about someone you abused, this person is healing their wounds. They're licking their wounds alone. And they have finally put their foot down where they're like, enough is enough. I don't understand what's going on and why I'm always attracting these types of people, but I've had enough. So either I'm going to be alone forever, or the next person, the next relationship I'm in, this person needs to treat me well. They've had enough. They've moved on with that to the C card for the abused person. And I don't see them moving on with a romantic partner just yet. But they have absolutely no thoughts of getting back together with the abuser, because a lot of times in these relationships, again, karmic, and I really feel like this is what happened in this relationship where there was a lot of tug of war, a lot of back and forth, where you guys would break up and get back together, break up and get back together. The person who was abused, for them, this relationship is completely over. They've completely severed the cord. There's no getting back together. They're trying to be happy on their own, but I don't see them as being fully happy. They're trying to start a new life here, but I don't see it. They too are kind of in no man's land. They are ready though, in terms of not ready in terms of their having all their trauma healed. They're ready to put this pattern behind them. For the abuser, yeah, like I said, I did say everything about the abuser. With the abuser, they still have a lot to learn with that yin card. They need to get into that yin energy. I still see them being stuck in the yang energy. This person's coming off shallow. They're shallow. Shallow. Money, pretty girls. That's their thoughts. They don't have to be rich or have money, but all they really think about is sex and money and perhaps drugs, depends on the person. Their thoughts are not really spiritual, it's shallow. They do know that, okay, if I get another girlfriend or boyfriend, I should treat them a bit better. But by the time they get a new one, it's just going to be pretty much the same shit. But the good news is that while the abuse is happening in the new relationship, whenever that occurs, they're going to at least be able to see, fuck, like I'm doing the same shit that I said I wouldn't do again. They're at least going to be able to see that. Okay, so I'm just going to end your reading there. Pretty much everyone here is working on their own shit. So those are your messages. I hope that helped you and I hope it resonated. Let me know if it did, and I will see you in my next reading. Hello, pal number 4. Welcome to your reading. So what is this person's karma for hurting you? They're repeating the same cycle. They're stuck in the same cycle that you left them in. This relationship is coming off like there was some sort of three-way happening here. It might have been a third party type of situation, or this could have been a friend. What this is coming off heavily as is a friend who was dating someone. Okay, so you were the friend and you're inquiring about a friend, and you guys had a falling out over their boyfriend or their girlfriend or their husband or their wife, because the person that they're with was not good for them, and you were trying to tell them to leave this person and try to open their eyes to these person's faults and their lies and all that kind of stuff, and they didn't believe you, or they did believe you but they just couldn't bring themselves to leave. They still thought like, we can make it work, the relationship's going to get better, and you just said, you know what, I've had enough. Because every time they fought, this friend of yours would come to you crying and you would have to comfort them, and then you had just had enough. You guys got into some sort of argument over this third person. So there's a three-way happening here. Okay, whichever, make it resonate. If it's not exactly that, so that's what I'm seeing for the majority of you guys here. But there are three people involved here. You and someone close to you, and then that person has someone else close to them, and the person close to them is not good for them. And you were trying to get in between them and the other person, and then the person you're inquiring about said F you, essentially, or nah, I don't want to leave. And then you just said, okay, F this, and you left. Something like that. Essentially, there's something like that happened. So what is their karma for hurting you? I guess they hurt you because they chose the other person over you. Like, this is coming off like you guys have been best friends since, like, I don't know, middle school, and all of a sudden she has a new boyfriend and then she chose him over you. Her karma, or his karma, whoever this person is that they're still stuck with that person. If you're wondering if they left that person, no, they're still in a relationship with them. The thing is, this chaos and conflict card here being next to regeneration, and also being next to the breathe card here in reverse, it hasn't ended. Whatever issue was occurring between the person you're inquiring about and the third person, the issue is still there. The third person did not change, and they are still stuck in the same situation that you left them in. Their karma is that they need to learn the lesson. This doesn't really have anything to do with you. This person is dealing with their own karma, their own issues, their own life lessons. And until they integrate and learn this life lesson, someone else, regardless of who it is, even you, are not going to be able to get through to them because they need to learn this lesson on their own. Chances are, when this person finally, your friend or whoever this person is, finally decides to leave the third person, chances are that you two are going to, your friendship is going to rekindle, or your relationship, whatever this relationship is going to rekindle, because you are more steady. They're going to realize, hey, you were looking out for them the entire time. Here, I just pulled the community card in reverse. They're going to realize, hey, my old friends, including you, were looking out for me, or my family. This could be a sister you're inquiring about, or a brother. My family was looking out for me the entire time. They tried to warn me about this person. I didn't listen. And now that I've come to my senses, I feel like after they come to their senses, your relationship is going to rekindle. It's going to heal. They're going to reach out to you again. But it's going to take a while because I just pulled that round and round card again. So they're still stuck in the cycle. So they need to learn this lesson. This group is the most straightforward out of them all. Because it feels like more like this, they hurt you not because they were being a douchebag like the other three groups. It's more like they hurt you because they are stuck in their own karmic pattern that they probably brought over from a past life. They're wounded in some manner, and they're blinded as a result, and they can't see past this person's fault. The third person, they can't see past their faults. They need to learn this lesson on their own. So their karma for hurting you is just the pure fact that they need to continue to work through their own karma that they already had while you two were still friends. So there's no extra karma on top of it, other than the fact that they're a little bit more isolated now because they lost their dearest friend, i.e. you, or their sister or their brother, whoever you are, because you guys are coming off either family or a BFF. That's the only thing. Now they're a little bit more isolated, so they don't really have someone to turn to and talk to as much, or if they do have someone to turn to and talk to, the person doesn't give them the same quality advice that you used to. So that's the only thing. They are feeling the loss of your relationship, but the karma for them hurting you, hurting your feelings, is just the pure fact that they need to work through their karma. This was going to happen with or without you. This needed to play out with or without you. The thing you need to understand is that you couldn't have prevented it. You might be thinking, oh, if I had tried harder, maybe he or she would have listened to me. No, they wouldn't have. Because this is a karma they need to work out on their own. You cannot help them through it. You can only give them the information as much as you could have, which you did. This is in their subconscious, in the back of their mind. They have this information that you gave them. They need to come to terms with it on their own. You know, it's like feeding a computer information, and the computer is processing it. This person just needs to process it. It doesn't matter if you keep feeding the computer the same information over and over again. That's not going to make the computer process it any faster. It needs the same amount of time to process the information you inputted. So even if you repeated it 10,000 times, does not change the length of time that it needs to process it. That's how it is with this person. So no, you couldn't have done anything different. No, you couldn't have said anything else. They need the same amount of time that they always needed to work through this issue. Treasure Island in reverse. They're going to realize that I've seen them being cut off, okay? Cut off from their old friends or cut off from their family here. They're feeling it. They're feeling the because they used to have support on their back. Their back used to be supported, I'm seeing, by you and other family members and other friends, you know, because I don't feel like you're the only person who just left them and said, I've had enough. But the support that they used to have, it's not there anymore. So they are kind of cut off. Some of you guys, this person moved away. If you're wondering what happened to them, they don't currently live in your same city anymore. They moved. A lot of you guys already know that this person was moving. Maybe that's what you guys were arguing about. They were moving and moving in with this person in another city. maybe even another country, depending on how drastic this is. And they wouldn't listen to you. They're gone. They moved in with this person. They're gone. A lot of you guys, they're across water. They left the country. Yeah. You're trying to build some sort of new foundation here, some family, a life. They want a happy life, but there's always chaos and conflict here. They're not compatible. Whoever the person you're inquiring about and the third person involved, they are not compatible. This is a karmic relationship. Peace in reverse, co-create in reverse. They cannot co-parent. They cannot cohabit with each other. There isn't any peace. The peace is not sustainable. Of course, there's going to be periods of peace and happiness, but it's not sustainable in that relationship. True happiness is going to come when they are by themselves, away from this person. And then also when they mend the relationship with you and the other family members or friends who they had to leave behind. Okay, with that come to the edge card, once they leave this person and move back to their old city or move away from whatever new city or place or home this is, and mend the bridges that they burnt here. It's not burnt the bridges, they're kind of just broken between you and them. That's when they're going to be truly happy again. Until then, they just need to work through these issues here. Okay, so those are your messages. I hope that helped you and I hope it resonated. Let me know if it did, and I will see you in my next reading.